Hello, 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 and welcome to day one of the Eat More Plants workshop. We're really excited to have you here. Let me know you can hear me. Everything should be good audio wise. Awesome, awesome. And yes, so we are here, day one, the ultimate Eat More Plants workshop, and we are live. So anything can happen. That's what I always like to disclaimer. Anything can happen. And we just want to make sure that we get this. Just trying to check what it's streaming because it's streaming to YouTube. I just want to see what's happening over there. It should be just me. So today we are going to be talking all about 5 days to improve your energy and health. All about plant-based eating and how it can help you. So we started a little bit in the chat. We have Alberta, Canada. Definitely. Where else are people tuning in from? I am tuning in to you live from Southern Georgia. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I are from Western Pennsylvania, and we sold our house 4 years ago. Hard to believe it's been that long. If you're OG original followers and you know, we sold our house 4 years ago to travel the United States full-time in an RV. So I'm coming to you live from my RV, which means anything, literally anything can happen. A cat can hop up on the table. You know, I've had my Wi-Fi go out, my power go out, anything can happen, but we are just fingers crossed. We are all good today. So a little bit of housekeeping. This is a 5-day workshop. And so I will be back each evening this week. For those of you that it's evening. Some of you are tuning in during the middle of the day. So welcome. I will be back to you each day at 7 p.m. Eastern to give you another lesson in the journey, in the process of eating more plants. You can check out the schedule in your workbook, which was sent out to you in several emails today. And then the Zoom link will also remain the same all week. So you can save this Zoom link, you can save this meeting ID, and you can just pop back in here. And then based on your questions and engagement, we may offer and open up some additional bonus sessions on topics that you've indicated you want more of. So if we're going along and you have questions you want me to elaborate on, let me know. Ask the questions in the chats here, ask the questions in your emails back to me in Facebook. If you are not in the pop-up Facebook group, that'll be a great place for us to connect. So I'll drop that in here. It is a different Facebook group than the one that I normally host workshops in. So if this is not your first go around, we are not streaming into the Facebook group. We are only streaming to YouTube and to this Zoom link. So if you want to be in the room, if you are catching me over on YouTube and you're like, I want to be in the room, I want the workbook, I want this workshop, this community that we're going to be in, this Facebook group that's only exclusively for members and registers of this workshop. I just popped it in the link. Once we get through the workshop, I'll go back through and approve anybody that is watching. So let's go back and see where we're tuning in. Donna, yes, from Florida, and your husband. Christine, all the way from Australia, amazing. Farah, fellow Marylander. Western Colorado, Summersville, South Carolina, Hudson Valley, New York, Chicago. You guys, this is incredible. Just trying to get everybody admitted in from the waiting room. Washington State, Maryland. Oh, Crystal, thank you. I'm so glad you love my cookbooks. I loved writing them. I can't wait to write more. So to help you make the most of your time in the workshop, I'm also going to share some action tasks and homework for you to complete and share with me. We'll have some posts in that Facebook group that I was mentioning, but you can also feel free to email me. I am your coach all week long. As part of this workshop, not only are you gifted access to me, just like my clients in the academy receive, but you're also getting a 10-minute connect call, which some of you, it's been such a pleasure to meet you and learn your story and where you are in your journey. That connect call really helps me review your goals and then direct your efforts in the workshop. And then additionally, you will get a bonus 30-minute free strategy session with me that we schedule at the end of the workshop. Some of you've already gotten that on the books. If you are interested in meeting with me, there are some links in your in the emails, but you can also visit veginspired.com/clarity call for the 10-minute session to really help direct you. We'd love to get that scheduled tomorrow or Wednesday or even early in the day, Thursday. And then the 30-minute session would be better scheduled at the end of the workshop. Once we've gotten through the content, I have opened up a few more slots on my calendar for Saturday morning, as well as some spots next week before American Thanksgiving. So the other housekeeping tip that I always want to tell you, and if you are watching the replay or if you've been registered for a couple of weeks, you know that I send emails. Throughout the week, I will be sending you emails. I'll be sending you reminder emails, replay emails. Just know that that is not typical VegInspired email frequency. We don't email you 3 times a day normally, but during the workshop, we want to make sure that you get access to everything, that you don't miss anything. And if you're busy like me, sometimes we just get caught up in something, and the next thing you know, it's 15 minutes have gone by and you're still doing the dishes when you really want to be here on this call. So once the workshop's over, the frequency of our emails will reduce back to normal. But if you are registered for this workshop, you will get those emails with the Zoom links, with the replay pages, and any reminders that we have. Also, I'm here all week to help you. I schedule these sessions, these workshops in my calendar. I free up some time. I don't take client appointments from my clients. They actually get scheduled into next week and last week so that I can pour my heart into helping you on your journey. So just know that no questions are too silly and no help that you need is too small. Reach out. That's what I'm here for. I've opened up my calendar to help you get results. And each day I will be sharing what myself and my clients are doing to help improve our energy, improve our health, and what I've learned along the way, both the wins I've had, the struggles I've had, and all of the things that I've learned in between. So if you're ready to improve your energy and your health, I invite you to be present during the workshop. Turn off the notifications, find a quiet place, close your tabs, and really tune in and be present for the next 40 to 60 minutes. So that is something that I also want to touch on. These sessions will be about 45 to 60 minutes, just depending on the content for the day, questions that you ask, any, heaven forbid, any interruptions. But that's about what I've clocked in for this time is about 45 to 60 minutes. So if you're ready, show me some fun emojis. I love these reactions. So you can do those reactions. You can use your little smiley face in the chat or your fire, and drop your favorite emoji in the chat and let's get started. Now, this workshop is going to transform your life. And I say that because I know I've been delivering workshops like this for almost 2 years, and I know the transformation that people can have from watching and participating and being engaged. This workshop will help you disrupt your status quo, get out of your comfort zone, and take action toward your goals if you do the work. So again, you've got to be in it. You've got to do the action. We've read the books. We've watched the YouTubers. We've done all the things, but until you jump in and you take action, you're still really watching from the sidelines. So in this workshop, we want you to get in and we want you to take action. I am honored to be a resource on your path to eating more plants and helping to really connect you with those goals that you have and to learn how we can support you along the way. Now, if you're new around here or you've only just met me in the last few months, you might be wondering who I am and how I got to where I am. So I'm your host, Kathy Davis. I'm an international entrepreneur, founder of VegInspired and the Eat More Plants Academy, 3-time plant-based cookbook author, and a lifestyle and mindset coach, your lifestyle and mindset coach for the week. I help high-achieving professionals, entrepreneurs, busy women 10x their energy, improve their health, and step into their optimum performance so that they can make a bigger impact in the world, so that they can make a better impact in their family so that they can make a bigger impact in their career, in their business, and just in life in general. Our proven systems support eating more plants and fitting plant-based eating into our busy, crazy schedules without spending hours in the kitchen or wondering, what am I going to eat? I'm on a mission to create this ripple effect by providing women with this ability to have more energy and have improved health so that they can make a greater impact in their community with the people that's lives they touch, whether it's through volunteer work or family work or business or any of the three, making a bigger impact in the world by leveraging the power of the foods and habits that you have. So this week, we're going to uncover the benefits of eating more plants. We're going to help you clarify your goals and what that might look like for you. Now, for some of you, you might be vegan, looking to eat more whole foods. Some of you might be brand new to plant-based eating. Some of you might be dabbling your feet or researching or even determining if this is a way of eating will work for you. And some of you love the idea of eating more plants, but never want to be vegan. And that's what sets us apart at VegInspired. We're inclusive. We think everyone deserves the support toward eating more plants, no matter where they are on their journey. So let's grab your workbook and let's get started. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't registered, you're over on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, say, hey, I can see the chat over there too. You can register at veginspired.com/ultimate, and that gets you the Zoom link so that you can be in the room and have the workbook as well. So we've all heard it, right? Eat more greens, eat more veggies, eat healthy. But what does that really mean? Even the most successful people in our world speak about healthy, whole, clean eating. Many entrepreneurs and business owners, doctors, lifestyle medicine, they share that eating healthy helps them optimize their performance so that they can impact more people in their professions, so they can reach their goals. But what does healthy really mean? So I'm going to pop into the workbook right now. We're going to do this first fill in. So leading research shows that healthy and optimized diets are ones filled with whole, unprocessed plant foods, such as, so whole, unprocessed plant foods is the first three fill in the blanks, such as greens, grains, beans, vegetables, potatoes, fruits, and minimal food from animals and animal products. Unprocessed or unrefined foods have their fiber and their nutrients, minerals, and antioxidants intact. And countless studies tout the benefits on our organs from these high antioxidant foods, such as berries and dark vegetables. Now, research also shows that eating 4 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, whole fruits and vegetables, can increase productivity up to 25%. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute. 25% of your awake day. So let's say that you're awake for 14, 16 hours. 25% of that would be 4 hours. That's almost like getting back 4 hours of your day. What would you do? Drop it in the chat. I want to know, what would you do if you could get back 4 hours? What would you do if you could increase your productivity so much so that you could basically gain the energy and the time back because you're more productive? Maybe it's energy to do more. Maybe it's energy to serve more. Maybe it's energy to take care of your house or cook for your family or show up for your clients, whatever it is. What would that increased productivity do for you? Now, doctors have started treating patients by prescribing dietary plans of whole plant foods and treating and managing, and even in some cases, reversing illnesses such as heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. But what does all that have to do with improving our energy and our health? Let's take a moment to travel back in time 3 years. So 3 years ago, I was a part-time assistant working for someone else and hustling my VegInspired work on the side. I was living my dream, right? Traveling the United States in an RV, but I was sick. I was overweight. I was constantly fatigued, and I was showing all the signs of prediabetes. I enjoyed all the yummy foods I ate at the vegan restaurants. I was vegan 3 years ago. All the yummy foods that I cooked at home, and I loved all the new vegan food on the market. You see, the common denominator of my dis-ease was the amount of processed vegan foods that I was eating. Despite the fact that I had cut out the highly inflammatory dairy and cholesterol laden products, I was still sick, still feeling yucky and sluggish throughout most of the days. I would get winded walking around markets. Now, Florida's pretty flat, exhausted from bike rides. And I was definitely not doing long hikes then like I'm doing now. And on most days, I would have rather ordered takeout than cook. And I enjoyed cooking. And I was faced with two scary realities. One, I was starting to show the symptoms of disease, prediabetes, insulin resistance, and I feared living on medications. I found with so many people that once you start on that medication path, it becomes a fistful pretty quick. And the other reality was I knew what to do. I just hadn't been doing it. And I read the research. I knew that eating more whole plant foods, less processed, less refined was the healthiest. I just hadn't committed to it. I made all the excuses. It was too hard, too restrictive, too expensive, too whatever those excuses were. My pivotal moment was a random November day 3 years ago, and I stepped on the scale to weigh one of our cats. And it came back with my highest weight ever. And it was in that moment that the reality of my situation came to a head. I had to make a change. It was time to make my health and my wellness a priority. So I did what I knew to do. I pulled out the books and videos and all the other resources, and I just sat there for a minute. And gosh, if osmosis would just happen and you could just click your fingers and automatically be healthy and plant-based and empowered around food, the last 3 years would have been much easier than they've been. But I put together a plan. And lucky for me, I had the support and accountability. And like a little mastermind, I leaned on that support and that accountability. And I started the process of adopting a healthier way of eating. My plan was to follow a whole food, clean, plant-based, mostly unprocessed way of eating. Now, I knew that wasn't going to be easy because I had so many habits that did not align with that way of eating. So many food associations and food addictions. And it's interesting to deliver this type of a workshop a week before Thanksgiving, because these are the times when those food associations and those food addictions really start to rear their ugly heads. People can work with me for a couple of months and feel really confident and then enter into these seasons. And it's like a little bit of time around family, a little bit of time back in that place. And they recognize that the empowerment isn't as strong as they thought. But I knew I had to make this lifestyle, had to make this a lifestyle, a true lifestyle where perfection wasn't the goal. Intention was the goal. And that's how I got started 3 years ago on this whole food plant-based journey from my vegan diet. I've been vegan for over 8 years. I went vegan originally for health and then found my way through the vegan junk foods. And the one big thing, the one big takeaway I want you to get from this part of the session and this part of my story is when I'm talking about plant-based, I'm not talking about Beyond Burgers and vegan cheese and all of those artificial products. I'm talking about whole plant foods, as close to nature intended. Now, you hear me talk a lot about intention. That doesn't mean that I am perfectly whole food plant-based every single day, every single month, every single year, but I am very intentional with the foods that I allow in my ecosystem so that I can make empowered choices. So 3 years ago, I started this journey. Within 6 months, I lost 35 pounds, a great milestone. I've been able to keep that off and lose more. But there's so much that I gained, and that's what I want to focus on this week. I don't want you to have this one measurement. I want you to really start to look at what plant-based eating can do for you from an energy and a health and a wellness, mobility, confidence, all of these places. Because what I found with plant-based eating is that it's more than anything I ever thought it would be. And so I'm here to share with you my intentional plan using systems, mindset work, foods, recipes, and strategies to help you on your path to making plant-based eating easier. You might be wondering why I would start and spend such a great deal of time telling you my story and what it has to do with energy. Well, if you can recall, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was exhausted. I would have never had the energy to work all day meeting with clients and some of you and doing the work that I do for VegInspired and the Academy, and then have the energy to help prepare dinner and show up for this workshop. I just wouldn't have had that. So my results after 3 years of this lifestyle were increased energy, scaling my business from a side hustle to an international elite coaching program, authoring 3 cookbooks, losing over 45 pounds and keeping it off, increased confidence, increased cognitive performance, gained wellness, reduced aches, reversed acid reflux, reversed symptoms of prediabetes. They're gone. Those markers are not there. Hiked many 6-mile, moderately strenuous trails across the United States at national parks. Overall sense of joy and accomplishment. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm not prone to sickness, even during these sick season. But most importantly, I've adopted and grown to have a healthy and empowered relationship around food, where I actually prefer to fuel my body with whole foods that make me feel good and give me energy rather than succumb to the old habits and eating the junk just because it's there. And the beauty of that is when you think about empowerment around food, how would that benefit you? Which of those results would benefit you? Would it be more energy? Would it be wellness? Would it be productivity? How would you feel if you could finally be empowered around food and not sucked into those old habits, those old associations, those old behaviors? Now, I'm not going to say that I was snap my fingers and I just became empowered. It was weeks and months of intentionally choosing foods and noticing how they made me feel. And I always ask, like, for a lot of us, I want to know, can we afford to be sick? Can we afford to not have the energy? Do we want to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor in 10, 20, 30 years from now? What does taking control of your health right now look like for you in 10, 20, and 30 years? We all know someone that's on a pathway to disease and fistfuls of medications. But what if it didn't need to be that way? What if you could have your plant-powered cake and eat it too? What if you could raise a happy, healthy family, or hold a powerful, impactful position, or just live retirement in this joyous, energized state because you aren't sacrificing your health and wellness for taste buds anymore? Now, I'm not going to say plant-based food doesn't taste good, because we can make it taste really good. But I want you to take a moment right now and visualize yourself in a year. Are you in the same place you've been in a year from now? Or are you moving on that pathway to wellness and improved energy? Are you in the same place you were a year ago? One of the hardest things is, since I've been hosting these workshops for so long, is watching people repeatedly show up and tell me the same goal and still be in the same place in a year. That's why I do this, to help with forward momentum. But what would it look like if the game changed? What would it look like if you were at optimum performance? If you were well rested, energized, excited, clear-headed, fit, mobile, happy, and healthy? What would it be like to be able to breathe life and energy into your day, into your family, because you have the energy to do it and you're not slumping at 3:00? What would it be like if you could improve your productivity 25, 15, or even 10%? How would that change your everyday? What if I told you it could be done with real normal food, not supplements, not Band-Aid formulas, not weird energy drinks, but whole plant food that you can easily find at any grocery store? It can. And this week, we're going to unlock those secrets to looking at ways of improving your energy and health with foods. And I believe that we're provided with these circumstances, situations, people, and events to help us achieve our goals, right? I had a goal to share this information with more people. 100 of you, over 100 of you have registered for this workshop. And you have a goal to eat more plants. So you're participating in my goal by being here, and I'm participating in your goal by sharing the systems, the habits, the foods, and the thinking required to help you make eating more plants your way of life and meet that goal. So let's talk about goals. What is your goal? What do you really want to achieve with plant-based eating or an eat more plants way of life? What's that outcome you're looking to achieve? So there's lots of blanks on the work in the workbook. So feel free to drop it, write it down there. What is that vision? What is that desired outcome that you're seeking? And I invite you to put it in the chat. What are your goals? Right? My initial goal was weight loss. But what shifted for me in my goal setting is that I stopped focusing on the weight and started to focus on becoming the person who ate plant-based, who made plant-based eating her way of life. And by changing the focus from weight to a lifestyle, I've been able to achieve that tenfold. I have been able to create this empowered lifestyle. So what is it that you're looking for? What do you really want? What is that outcome that you're looking for, that you're seeking with plant-based eating? Is it health? Is it energy? Is it weight loss? Is it mobility? Is it just to become someone who eats plant-based, who can look at a buffet of food and go towards the veggie tray and hummus and the apples and fruits rather than the greasy chips and junk food? What is that goal? So I want you to think, that's going to be your homework for today. I really want you to think about what you want. What is that? If I could wave a magic wand and say to you, this is where you'll be in 6 months. What is it? What would you be striving for? What is that first milestone? Remember, for me, it was weight loss, and I saw that in 6 months. But it took me almost a year and a half, 2 years to achieve the goal of being someone who could be at a buffet and choose the foods that I know would fuel me and make me feel better out of habit without feeling like I was being restricted. You see, we spend some time on goals as a whole entire session for today because your goal has to be big enough and strong enough and deep enough in your heart to help you alter your behavior. So we've got people in the chat saying that it's about medical. I want to be healthy. I want to get rid of medications. Being healthy is my goal. What will being healthy do for you? Start to explore these questions. Does it give you more energy? Does it bring out confidence? Does it give you mobility? You know, I know people who have type 2 diabetes, and it can those side effects of that can be really devastating if it goes unmanaged. What are the outcomes that you're hoping for, that you're seeking in order for your goal to do battle with those old habits, those old beliefs, those old food associations? It needs to be strong enough to do the fight. You need an outcome that you are willing to go to battle for, so that when you are standing at that table or in the grocery store and looking at food, it's not this nagging, because my clients call it the French fry fairy, but it's in there. Oh, you can have just a little. Oh, you can buy those chips just one more time. And it's over and over and over again. And that one more time turns into every week, and you're right back into those old habits. So you need a goal that's you're willing to fight for. Is it health? Is it energy? Is it weight loss that's going to lead to that confidence and wellness? Is decreased inflammation, reduced blood pressure, reduce pain? Is it mobility? So what is that goal? What are you willing to go after? And what do you want badly enough that you know that it's going to help you alter your behavior? You see, we get into this situation where we know what we want, but then something in our head says we want something else, right? Oh, I know that I want to eat healthy, but I can eat the pizza that my family's ordering this weekend. Or I know that I want to eat healthy, but I don't have time to cook. So I'm just going to eat this microwave meal that I know has more sodium than I need, but it's only once. And then we go back to the grocery store and we replace it. So what is that goal that is going to alter your behavior, that you're going to be willing to fight for? One of the best statements that I heard about goals is that a goal isn't to get, it is to help you grow. So when you think about eating and your energy and your health, isn't it amazing to know that changing what you eat can help with energy and wellness? So when you were visualizing yourself achieving this lifestyle of plant-centered eating and achieving your goal, how did it feel? Who is the person that you need to become to do that? Those moments of growth are incredibly powerful. And that's what we want to do this week. We want to equip you to push you through those powerful moments of empowerment, those new habits around food. But you've got to have a goal. You have to have a desired outcome that's going to be strong enough to push you through the tough times. Because there are going to be tough times. You're going to be standing in the grocery store and your favorite foods are going to be on sale and you're going to be like, "Oh, I really think I want that." And you're going to have to ask yourself, does this get me closer to my goal? Then you're going to be at a holiday celebration in a couple weeks and a family member is going to hold your favorite dessert, your favorite food in front of you. And you're going to have to ask yourself, does this get me closer to my goal? And then you might be sitting at home one day and, there's somebody in your family that's still eating the standard American foods and they're going to bring it out into the living room and you're going to be watching TV together and they're going to be having it and they're going to be crunching away on it. And you're going to think, but is that going to get me closer to my goals? Now you're going to hear me all week long talk about intention over perfection. And I use that philosophy because I'm creating a lifestyle. I am not on a diet. I don't ever want to feel as though I'm restricted. I want to feel empowered. I don't want to say no to that bag that's crunching away next to me on the couch because I can't have it. I want to say no because I don't want it. That's the difference between a lifestyle and a diet. Because see, when you're working with me, when you're in my space, you can have whatever you want. You just have to be able to say, does this get me closer to my goals? What's my intention around this? Right? We went through Missoula. If you've ever been to Montana, it's cute. Missoula is a really cute little town. They have a donut shop called Vera Donuts. I'm going to tell you, they're probably the best vegan donuts I have had. And I have traveled a lot for vegan donuts. But my intention was not to buy a dozen when I was there. It was to have one and to savor it and to be extremely intentional. That's the difference. Old me would have bought a dozen. Old me might have even bought a dozen twice, right? Because I needed to get it as much as I could possibly get. But new me is empowered. New me wants to make it worth it. A dozen donuts, by the time you get to the last donut, they're like stale and dried out and they're like a couple days old. Like, that's not eating it at its best, most optimum. That also brings up, people will say to me, well, gosh, it's so great that there's vegan food at fast food restaurants. That's awesome. But I'm going to tell you, a Whopper is not going to be worth it to me. If I'm going to go out of my way to eat a vegan burger and fries, I'm going to find the best vegan burger and fries in the country. That's what I'm going to set my intention on. We always joke, like we were we'll stay in campgrounds that are far away from cities. I mean, out in the remote world, all we need is internet. That's pretty much what we'd say, is as long as we can get a cell signal, we can stay out there. And we're always plugged in. We don't have a generator. We can't go off grid or anything. So we're always plugged in, full hookups. And there's some campgrounds that are so far from a vegan restaurant. We were at one for 6 weeks. We didn't eat out once in that 6-week time. Not once. I don't miss it. I make really easy meals so that I'm not constantly in the kitchen cooking up all the time, which we're going to talk about on Wednesday, lots of the easy meals that I eat. And as a gift, in the back of the workbook, there are links. So if you open the workbook in a digital format, all of the recipes will link to some of our favorites. So you can capture those and put those in, save them on your desktop or in your browser. But you have to let your goal drive your decisions. So next week is Thanksgiving. We're going to make all our own plant-based Thanksgiving. In a few weeks after that, we're going to be near my parents. I might decide to make holiday cookies with my mom. I'll make them as close to plant-based intended, but maybe I'll throw in some real sugar. I've made a way to be empowered. I would not have done that a few years ago because I wouldn't have been there yet. So it's all about the journey. It's all about knowing where you are and having a goal that's strong enough to alter your behavior and build the resiliency and the empowerment around food. It doesn't happen overnight. It won't happen in these 5 days. We are going to be able to move you monumentally closer to your goal, but it won't happen overnight. You have to develop these habits. And so tomorrow we're going to talk all about habits and how creating habits day in and day out that are aligned with your goal will help support you along the way on those days when it feels impossible to stick with your goal, when it feels impossible to stick with the way that you want to eat. So your homework is to review your plant-based goals. Figure out what it is that you really want. And I love it. I've got reducing diabetes medications, becoming healthy, looking to decrease inflammation, specifically in lower back, regulate blood pressure, lose weight, weight loss, decrease inflammation for better mobility. I want it all, but mostly good health and energy. Somebody said they found a great natural food store. That's a great goal. That's a great goal. And being able to have a place that you can trust that has these natural foods is so important. So I want you to look at your goals. Those of you that shared multiple goals, figure out what it is that you want and why you want it. Why are you looking to eat plant-based? Why is better mobility going to be a benefit for you? Why is weight loss so important to you? I shared my story, but what I left out was one of the big reasons that I wanted to lose weight was because a few days before I had stepped on the scale and had that pivotal moment, my husband and I were on a bike ride. And we bought bikes when we moved into the RV. We bought them as Christmas gifts for each other. And the whole idea was that we were going to bike all these trails around the country. And so we went on a bike ride on the beach in Daytona, and I couldn't ride against the wind. I physically couldn't ride. I did not have enough strength. And we were getting ready to make the big trek out toward Glacier the following year. And I knew that I wanted to hike there. And I didn't want to have to tell him that that my hiking would be limited. So while weight loss was the goal, the deep-rooted reason was because I wanted to be able to do things. I wanted to be able to hike and kayak. And I knew that by being more physically able to do it, it would have been easier. Not that I couldn't have done it, but it was easier. It was easier to hike when my knees didn't hurt. It was easier to hike when I wasn't physically exhausted. It was easier to hike when I was hydrated and healthy and sleeping better. I mean, the results of eating plant-based truly changed my life. And so I want you to think not just about that top level, but what is achieving that goal, becoming that version of you that eats plant based for your health, for your energy, for mobility? What's that going to do for you? What's the reason in here? Spend some time with it. Spend some time journaling. What is that goal, that desired outcome that you are looking for with plant-based eating? And I always tell people, my goal was to become the version of me that would eat plant-based, that would choose, I would say I would choose the apple over the cookie. That doesn't mean that I'm not eating cookies, but 9 times out of 10, the habit is to go towards the apple, to go into the kitchen and know that you're getting fruits and vegetables out of the refrigerator, because that's what you really want. That's what actually fuels you. That's what drives you towards your goal. If you take nothing else from today's session, I hope that you understand that your goal needs to be heart-centered. It needs to be strong enough to help you alter your behavior. So really start to spend some time with your goal. What is it that you truly want? If I could wave a magic wand and give you health, wellness, energy, weight loss, confidence, mobility, what outcome would that bring to you? Would it be playing with your grandkids? Would it be moving, exercising, hiking, kayaking, biking? Would it be pain-free to be able to do crafts? How do you want to be showing up in 6 months from now? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? How do you want to behave? How do you want to be around food? What are the characteristics that you will have once that goal is achieved? And what actions can you take today to move you toward your goal? Every little baby step counts. Substituting oil with vegetable broth, passing on the vegan cheese, eating a salad before every meal. Every little bit helps move you closer to your goal. So tomorrow we're going to focus specifically on habits and altering habits and what habits I started with so that you can help move closer to your goal. But you got to know your goal. So that's your homework. I was under 45 minutes. That's your goal. So your homework is to identify your goal. What is that deep-rooted goal, that outcome that you seek? And you're going to share your goal with me either in the pop-up Facebook group or via email with me. And then if you have your clarity call that we haven't already had, we will discuss on there. We'll discuss your goal a little bit more on that clarity call. But I will be back here tomorrow for day 2 at 7 p.m. Eastern time, changing your habits, change your life. And we will see you tomorrow. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach me. If you're going to miss any of these sessions, there will be replays available. They'll be uploaded right after this because we do have the videos now on YouTube. So they'll be uploaded into one easy, accessible page that will be emailed out to you. And I will see all of you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. So have a wonderful, fantastic